Without a doubt, gaming on a PC looks better, with way more detailed textures, high frame rates, and an insane amount of resolution. Console games just don't quite stack up, period. But to get those desired settings, you're going to need quite a hefty GPU. So what's up guys, today we're going to be reviewing and testing the R9 280X from Gigabyte. The R9 280X from Gigabyte is one of the best valued graphics card on the market. It combines high level specs with a low level budget to give you boss level performance. Just by looking at this card, you can tell that it means business, and I don't know about you, but something about PCBs just fuels the geek in me. With 3 pulse width modulated fans, the voltage is easy to control and regulate, ensuring that the fans never get too loud and they never get faster than they have to. Only downside with this card is that it's a fairly long card, so if you were to pick it up, just make sure you have enough clearance to fit this card in. This card comes with 2 mini display ports, 1 HDMI port, and 1 DVI connection port, so death to VGA. The base clock is 950 MHz, but overclock straight out the box to 1072 MHz, with some headroom if you wanted to overclock it some more. Mine is currently running maxed out at 1200 MHz with a power limit of 20%, which I don't recommend doing, but you could if you want to, but shouldn't. This card has 3 GB of RAM, so running multiple monitors should be a breeze, with support up to 4 monitors in Infinity mode. But all of that is just specs. What really makes this card stand out is that it's one of the most quietest and coolest out there. Gigabyte did a really great job at engineering this behemoth, because when it comes to YouTube, silence is very important. And especially when you're running capture software and running the game full blast, ultra settings, this thing handles it like a champ. Now it's time for this card to put its money where its mouth is. Or megahertz where its fans are. Yo dog, you told me it would have been funny, bro.
Just roll the benchmarks.
Playing Far Cry 4, one of the most beautiful open world games ever, we're able to max out everything on ultra settings and still get a comfortable average frame rate of 64 frames per second, with a minimum of 29 and a maximum of 351 frames per second. I must say, I'm surprised because I was expecting this game to be much more of a challenge to the 280X, but it didn't even break a sweat. Probably because of the triangular cool technology that went into making these spinners. But this was a shocker. One of the more demanding on this list, Kombat X. The best fighter of 2015, agree or disagree in the comment section. We got a minimum frame rate of 1, but I'll give that to trial and error, and then a maximum of 62, giving us an average of 53 frames per second. This game is so gorgeous, but at the same time I've noticed that it's not optimized at all for this card, but nevertheless still playable at 1080p ultra settings. Hopping into Middleearth, Shadow of Mordor, this thing ran so smooth I can't believe it's not butter. With a minimum frame rate of 24, maximum of 147, it ran at a constant 62 frames per second, giving you the ideal PC experience, and it was so silent I forgot that my PC was even on. For an open world game with a lot of quick time events, I didn't notice any frame drops or any pop-ins. The 3 GB of RAM on the 280X rendered all the game assets like a pro. Now for one of the most hyped games for PC and consoles, GTA 5. GTA 5 was beautiful on the console and is just stunning on PC. Rockstar North did not disappoint when it came to optimizing this game. This game's run at a smooth 60 frames per second for me, but when running the benchmarks, I've gotten a minimum of 26 frames per second, a maximum of 62, and an average of 42. No doubt this was the most demanding, but at 1080p, everything turned up, utilizing all 3 GB of RAM. What more can you ask for? Conclusion time. This card is a great card. Scratch that. This card is a beast card that can fit within any size budget. This card isn't 4K, but it is 4K capable with its max resolution 4096 by 2160, but 1440p should be just fine. By a long shot, this card isn't the best card out there. Best 280X, we can argue that. This card is more geared to gamers who has a low to mid-range system and wants to upgrade to something more beefy with a strict budget in mind, because you can find this card from $200 to $300, maybe even lower. In short, this card really packs a punch and is guaranteed to turn any mid-range build into a high-end build, or should I say, tight-end build. This card checks off so many boxes, and now it just makes me curious to see what the 290X has to offer. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you are interested in picking up this card, make sure to check the site. I don't get sponsored.com, just pick the cheapest one. And like, comment, share, do it all to this video. And as always, tech is life. Like Tiff.